from, up above. So they have the helicopters and whatnot. So they know exactly where to move these puzzle pieces.
Right.
And they succeeded. They split it up into various groups. It was wild. I mean, but it just went on and on. When they splintered the march downtown, I mean, if you were to look at it from above, every single little street and alleyway had hundreds of people on it.
Yeah.
Even at the beginning, when people were marching down Broadway, there were all these fragmented groups, marching down 4th Avenue and marching down 5th. So, it wasn't just one mass of people.
I want to ask you this. Last fall when Occupy was, I guess, at its peak, if that's fair to say, there was a lot of conversation, and even on Occupy's part, seemed a lot of concern to make sure that they didn't tie themselves too closely to any unions or any other liberal or progressive organizations. But yesterday, in conjunction, I think it's part of overall the May Day, collaboration. But we had, like you mentioned, there was a lot of unions who were speaking. Is this a sign of a change in methodology or ideas for Occupy Wall Street as you see it?
Yeah, I just want to make it clear that it's not like this was the first example in Manhattan or even elsewhere of them working together. In Boston, which is the city I know best, of course, but also across the country. I mean, as early as October, I was in Portland, Oregon, sitting in on a meeting between, groups representing Jobs with Justice, for example, which is a big labor federation, and meeting with occupiers. So this isn't like something new. It's completely understandable from a progressive standpoint, or from any standpoint, why a group like Occupy would be skeptical of getting together with some labor. I mean, fact of the matter is, a lot of them have contributed to Barack Obama, to various Democratic campaigns, more established political parties, and then there are groups like Move On, which of course have supported, in the past, candidates like Howard Dean, or candidates, respectable enough people, but occupiers really trying to break away from that. There's a real disdain for electoral politics among occupiers. At the same time, by and large, occupiers are working people, and if you're really trying to lasso the 99%, well, there ain't nobody more than 99% than, a plumber, a pipe fitter, these firefighters. There were tons of firefighters out there yesterday. So, yeah, maybe there's some animosity toward their organizations and toward their affiliations, but at an individual level, there's a mutual respect. And I think at this point, a lot of occupiers are confident in something that, I don't like to make a lot of predictions about what's going to happen, but I'll tell you one thing. The one prediction that I will make is that there won't be a leader, because if there is, more than half of the people walk away. That's why people always ask me, is there going to be one issue? Is there going to be one person? Are they going to run a candidate? No, and no. Because as soon as that happens, what happens? Half the people, oh no, that's not my guy, or that's not my woman. Right. This is, as somebody who's been covering progressive movements and all this for years, it's really, what we're seeing here is a giant tent. A tent where, 10 years ago when we were marching the war in Iraq, yeah, there were marches here and there, but it wasn't like this. It wasn't all these people coming out with their different causes and not trying to steal each other's thunder, but really kind of getting under the same canopy and speaking out and talking about the way they feel and fighting as one force, and apparently scaring the shit out of the establishment.
Well, you're tuned in live, TCMS, the Company Man Show. Chris Farone in the house, talking Occupy Wall Street. We'll be back in one song. Shout out to Joanne Gomez. This is Chris Brown, Strip.
Bye.